Let's talk about how to use trend lines for more aggressive divergence trade entries. Now, when trading divergence, you can use trend line breaks for more aggressive entries. These types of entries have a higher percentage of failure, but can give an early entry and more trade opportunities. Because basically, you're not waiting for a corrective setback, which sometimes does not come. At least not into the range where we look for it to come. Maybe we only get a 38% Fibonacci retracement instead of a 50 to 62%. So using this type of entry can be a bit more aggressive, but it can get you into more divergence trades if that's what you're looking to do. To enter, we would use a buy or sell stop 3 to 5 pips after the first candle that closed below the trend line, not the trend line break. This is very important. This is for the same reason that we don't buy and sell breakouts, because we're looking at these as support and resistance zones. Okay, so what we do is we wait for a candle to close below the trend line, and then we wait for the next candle to actually trade below that candle. And we'll detail this here in just a moment. Now, you want to place your stop above the high or below the low of the divergence, with the initial target being the high or low point between the points that diverged. Remember earlier we talked about the divergence targets. Okay, those are the targets that we're going to use. Now, it's important to perform your reward to risk analysis on these trades. You want to make sure that the trend line is sharp enough to where the trend line break and your entry actually, the candle that breaks the trend line, you want to make sure it's not too large to where it really messes up your reward to risk. So if it's a really big candle that closes well below that trend line, you're halfway down the pattern already, then you might want to go ahead and skip that and wait for another entry method. Okay, so you want to find out with your stop above the high or below the low of the points that diverged. You need to measure that against the target and make sure you have a good reward to risk ratio. Okay, we'll show that here in just a moment. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and look at some charts right now. Okay, so here's the Euro US dollar. And in this case, obviously, the very first divergence here, where we had price moving higher, the smaller divergence, I should say, price moving higher, MACD swinging lower. This obviously was not a good candidate for a divergence, for a trend line break. Okay, not a qualified setup for a trend line break. Even if we drew this differently across here, still there's no good reward to risk on this. Okay, your stop had to go all the way above the high targets right there. So nothing there, not with this type of small pattern. However, let's look at the larger divergence here. That is right here with price moving higher. Okay, MACD here was cycling lower. Now this was a good candidate for a trend line break divergence setup. So we'll draw our trend line right here. Here is the candle that broke the trend line. Okay, so let's just draw our line right here. So we want to put our entry 3 to 5 pips below the low of this candle. All right, so the next candle that traded below here, that would have brought us into the trade. Okay, so here you place your sell stop, or sometimes the market's moving, if it's moving too quickly, then you just want to go ahead and enter into a market order. Once you see price come down below this candle 3 to 5 pips, you can just enter into the market. But first, just make sure that your reward to risk is good, which in this case, obviously, it is. You can just eye that up and see that it's a good fit. So I'm just going to use the tool here. I'm going to grab a short position. We entered into this position. We'll just put it right here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, but we know our stop loss. Whoops. Okay, so let's try that again. We know our stop loss has to go above the high. Okay, that's where we place our stop, above the high point of the divergence. And our target is the low. Okay, the low point between the points that diverged. So here is our target. Good reward to risk, over 2 to 1. Let's take a look at another example. Here's another divergence on the Aussie dollar. Right here with price moving higher, MACD swinging lower. Let's draw our trend line here, so we need to see a break of this. We had the break right here. Okay, now we need the next candle to trade lower. It didn't happen. Started to rally up, and then we finally came down and broke it. But let's see, do we have a trade opportunity here? We need to put our sell right here below the candle. Let's move our stop above the high. It needs to be above the high, and our target is right there at the low in this case. Is that a good reward to risk ratio? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're risking more than we could potentially gain on this particular setup with that target. This would not be a good candidate for a trend line break strategy. Okay, in this scenario, we have to wait for the impulsive decline, or the sharp decline, we should say, and then the pullback for the entry. Okay, which, by the way, that did work out. However, I don't know that we retraced very deeply here. Let's look at the retracement. It doesn't look like we retraced 50% of that swing. Actually, we did. We did retrace 50%. So you can call me a liar now. We moved right back into that 50% area, and then we declined. And I'll just put the template on here for our divergence setup. You can see we moved right into that 127% extension. A little bit of a pullback here, and then we approached that 162, didn't quite make it down there though. Okay, the majority of the time we're going to be targeting that 127%. The only time we're not going to target the 127 is if we have a higher time frame pattern that's influencing the trade, and we have a target from that degree that falls closer to the 162%. Or we're looking for just a larger move altogether from the higher degree time frames. Then we can target that second extension. Here, still looking at the Aussie, we had another divergence right here. We just backed up a little bit. We have price moving lower, MACD cycling higher here. All right, this actually, let's see, here's the point that diverged. Here is the high point right there. So that will be our target. And for a trend line, let's say, actually right here is probably the best way to draw that. Let me just adjust this a little bit. There we go. You can see right here we haven't broken it yet. Here we did. We closed above the trend line here. Okay, so we need to see price trade above this level. So let's just say we have to put our buy stop right about there. And our target area on this trade would be that high right here. And our stop loss would need to go just below that low. So does that give us a good reward to risk on the trade? 1.55. So it's not 2 to 1, but you're still targeting more than you're risking. 1.55. That's not too bad. So I would say it's okay if you want to take that trade. And you can see obviously price went up to the target, and then let's just see what happened after that. We had an extension here. Okay, this is an extension move right here. So if we measure this, you can see we moved well into the extension level. So not much of a question there with this cycle. Okay, so we extended. That's bullish. We could draw our Fibonacci retracement on this particular swing right here. Here was our pullback. We even pulled back again for good measure to the 62% here. And we rallied up to the 127%. and then onto the 162% where we found a resistance. Now this could have been a little bit tricky because if you entered in on this first cycle, if you entered in here on this first cycle, when price tested this high, you'd want to get the risk out of this trade. So this pullback more than likely would have stopped you at a break even. And this pattern right here, this pattern and this is one of the tougher patterns that we deal with in the Forex market. This is an expanded flat. All right, so we had this would be an A, B. This is the C wave of the flat. Even though this retraced 62% past the 62%, this is still a flat. And one of the reasons is the A wave. See how deep the A wave was? Now, if the A wave would have been above that 38% or came right to the 38%, then we would have hesitated on labeling this a flat. But since the A wave of the flat came all the way down through the 50%, then the B wave rallied to a very slight new high. Then we had the sharp decline down to the 62%, which is just below the start of A. And this is a expanded flat correction. It's okay because the C wave here is okay at the 62% because of how deep the A wave was, and then we had our continued rally to the upside here. And I know I keep promising you more equal legs 127 examples. High to the low. All right, so equal legs 127. We ended this in a bit of a diagonal that we talked about earlier. Right, then we had another divergence for that nice decline. Okay, so these have been examples of using trend lines to enter into our divergences. A little bit more aggressive. This is not something I normally do. The only time I'll do this is maybe on the higher degree time frames. I do not use this entry for short-term trading. So yeah, for the majority of my trades, I wait for a price move and a corrective setback. That's just how I like to enter into the market. But for folks that want a more aggressive entry method, this can be a good entry method as well. But as you can see, you need to make sure that the reward to risk ratio is there when you're looking at divergence and you're looking at trend line breaks. Okay, and next we're going to talk about how to use candle patterns and bullish or bearish candles to enter in, which is even more aggressive. And you'll probably take a lot more little stops, smaller stops, but your reward to risk ratios are off the charts. They're usually very, very good. Okay, so we'll talk about those next, and this is using candles and candle patterns for more aggressive divergence trade entries.